Now we are looking forward to our expert, Thomas Nieber. Hello, Thomas. Perhaps you would like to introduce yourself briefly and then start with your presentation.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks for having me. So, welcome everyone to a highly relevant topic. I'm the Global Account Manager for the retail sector at GEZE. One part of my tasks is to look into new solutions for retail clients, tailored to current and future needs and requirements. Speaking of such, it is my pleasure to have the next 30 minutes to talk about a solution that is and will be of huge help to retailers in all sectors to handle pandemic influences. First, we will look at the current situation to understand the need. Afterwards, we will have a look at some quick fixes before we go over to the systematic and structure of professional solutions. And finally, we will present you what we made out of it. So, why capacity control in the first place? Let's be honest, retailers usually like when it's crowded. This means sales and success of the business model. Well, that changes, and not only due to COVID-19. Resources are limited, and to have a steady and controlled flow of customers was always helpful to any operation. The pandemic during the last year, and certainly during this year, accelerates the need for control. Social distancing is a keyword of today, not only in regards to the customer, but also regarding the employees, changing the rules and adding new tasks and responsibility to shop owners and operators. Let's have a look at the customer side. We do see a changing shopping behavior. And I'm not only talking about online versus offline. Customers come less often, shop more of the essentials. Let's not argue about toilet paper here. They stay shorter and are more stressed. And they definitely have higher expectations toward the hygienic situation at a store. We all know that grabbing a shopping trolley was quite an experience, sometimes, even before COVID-19. So they want to avoid it, as they try to avoid any contact at all. And what would be the store without happy and forthcoming employees? They deserve a safe working place and are rather not trained to act as a doorman handling frustrated, waiting customers. Besides that, during the pandemic, a lot of new tasks popped up or got intensified. So who takes care of this? That would be the operator. He already feels high pressure from the sales side. Regulations, customers and employees' needs kick in. Therefore, a user-friendly, efficient and safe solution is needed to help smoothing the operation, even during pandemic times. So, how did they cope with it short term? We know that retailers are pragmatic and they like quick and cheap fixes. Operations need to run. The fastest solution was security. Most retailers had contacts to them before to protect the property and goods. So now you have a doorman. But how to count the people? We saw cards to be handed out to each customer entering and collected when leaving the store. Some used hand counters. But all that means planning effort, running costs. The doorman becomes the business card of your store and additional risk of infection and contamination. Another quick fix was a reduction of shopping trolleys. One customer, one trolley. But what about families or couples? With such solution, hygienic trolleys are a must. We have seen frustrated customers with own shopping bags or the ones only in need of a single small item. At the end of the day, you do need security to enforce this counting method. A professional solution can help you with that. The control needs to be implemented at the entrance or the entrances. You can switch them on and off almost immediately, since they process in real time. They don't take the precious time of your employees. They reduce the risk of infection or contamination to a minimum. They are cost efficient, stable and almost invisible once installed. And they professionally handle the customer flow, showing your customer that your store is safe and state-of-the-art. So, what do they consist of? We have three main parts. The sensor, where accuracy of counting is key. We have the intelligence, either online in a cloud or offline at the store. And here, usability is key. And we have the control part, where enforcement of control and the communication to your customer is key. Let's have a look at the types of sensors. Light barrier systems are rather inexpensive. They are proven components. You might remember them from automatic doorbells. But they're not very intelligent. They count everything and can be tricked easily. They have problems with more than one person entering at a time, and the bidirectional sensing is limited. Therefore, they come into play in not officially regulated context. 3D camera systems are the most commonly used sensor type when accuracy is needed and the entrance situation is challenging. They have a high counting accuracy, around 99%. It is a proven system since used for marketing data acquisition already, mainly in the clothing retail. It is GDPR compliant since those systems are developed to count people. And they are known for being very reliable. Of course, they are much more expensive than the light barriers. And the GDPR effort is also higher, due to the fact that the counting system uses 3D content. The data volume handled is quite high. Let's come to the laser scanner system. Laser scanner systems are quite new to the counting business. They have proven to be very accurate in sensing in other fields. Compared to 3D camera systems, they are able to work under tough weather conditions, are less detracted by shadows or reflections, Additionally, the GDPR effort is lower, and they do the job by using less data volume. They are, however, slightly more expensive than the 3D camera systems, mainly due to the fact that there are not many suppliers yet, and the system is still unique. They are not as reliable and accurate as the 3D camera systems are yet. But where sits the brain? There are two main options: online and offline systems. Online systems come with higher synergies with an increasing number of sales outlets. They can be controlled from a head office or otherwise centrally. Even the monitoring of the online components can be done remotely. Not to mention that any changes to the settings can be done quickly. There's furthermore the possibility to use analytics for a self-learning system, improving the accuracy level over time, starting with a simple plausibility test. Collected data can be used for marketing purposes or sales analysis. And finally, you have a good documentation centrally. On the contrary, you do have to handle IT risks, and they come with monthly costs for data management and maintenance. Offline systems, on the other hand, involve less IT risk. There are usually no monthly costs for data management, and they are more affordable over time. Since synergies are not a big deal with such system, they do make sense even for a smaller number of stores. On the contrary, you have no remote control. So changing specifications must be done individually at each store. Analytics are limited, and the data collection cannot be used for marketing purposes. And finally, the control part. As said before, part of it is a communication, and communication is also crucial here. Let's start with displays. In the past, several solutions tried to use displays that were already known to the entrance area, but for commercial purposes. And there lies a problem. Customers expect a display to carry commercials, especially within the entrance of a retail store. But a display serves well when it comes to communication. As soon as you were able to stop a person looking for an answer for the reason why. A display can be a monitor next to the door or a tablet as a freestanding device. Let's go over to the traffic light systems. The customer is well trained in following the traffic lights. Nevertheless, he's not expecting it at a retail entrance. Therefore, such a system needs to have a good luminosity. Furthermore, it needs to appear at a normal viewing height of 2 meters and lower. Due to practical reasons, you should stay over the damaging height of a shopping trolley. Nothing can stand a contact with this weapon. There are two versions available. The one that really looks like a traffic light, but are not very appealing design-wise. Or the thin LED stripes that are integrate themselves smoothly with the architecture of the entrance. And then we have the automated door, or any other automated physical barrier. Those barriers are finally able to stop any customers and therefore comply with the official requirements. In most cases, the door is already in place, just taking over additional tasks. It already stops customers when the store is closed anyway. So it has proven to be able to handle it. But in order to change the task of a door needs to perform, you have to make sure to follow all safety standards and norms. Because after all, an automatic door is a powerful machine. So only certified solutions installed by certified technicians are allowed. Beside that, a solution should be able to handle the most common brands, since we are talking about retrofitting solution. So what can GEZE do to meet this need? Have a look at our product video. Enjoy!
Our solution GEZE Counter offers a low-cost and quick-to-implement solution for the automated monitoring and restriction of visitor flows. Sensors record people passing through the entrance and exit. Once the maximum is reached, the connection to the GEZE sliding door portfolio ensures that the entrance is closed. This guarantees that your guidelines are always adhered to. The maximum number of people in the shop can be set at any number. The system is available for scenarios with common and with separate entrances and exits. GEZE Counter, the customer flow control solution, is networked to the system to ensure that the system is constantly kept up to date. Using a smartphone or online, you can check the actual status and access statistics for improved predictability. GEZE Counter, intelligent customer flow control.
Welcome to the GEZE Counter product line. The core of our solution is the already existing door as a strong barrier to ensure the compliance with regulations. So, part of our solution is already installed at your store. We provide control systems that are integrated and non-invasive. We even are able to use already existing displays. We have built-in communication with customers. Data access and changes to the setting are user-friendly and even remotely possible. Once installed, the system is ready anytime. You can have the GEZE Counter as Connect version or as basic version, both using state-of-the-art 3D camera sensors. You can decide whether you want an online or an offline system. And both versions can be extended by displays or traffic lights to improve communication with your customer. There are some other differences between the two versions. Let's start with the GEZE Counter Connect. It consists of a ceiling or above the door installed sensor. More entrances mean more sensors. We have a cloud that can be accessed by a common internet browser. The logic box is installed usually within the ceiling. The door is already in place. And finally, we have communication devices to show the status. How does it work? The sensor sends the counting data online to a cloud system that does the overall counting, holds the threshold value, and releases the signal for any status changes in real time. The logic box is connected to the cloud and the door and manages the status changes of the door and any additional display or traffic lights. The door acts as a physical barrier, and the attached displays or traffic lights inform the customer about the current status. But what if you don't want an online system, or your company IT policy just do not allow one? For that situation and some other reasons, we came up with the GEZE Counter Basic. The difference here is that you have the intelligence and the logic box built in a floor-standing device. It creates its own network to which you can log on while at the store with a cell phone or tablet and change settings easily. The process is quite similar to the Connect version, just skipping the online cloud circle. It has a built-in traffic light, also visible from inside the store for your employees. And it connects to displays and traffic light systems. There is much more to tell, and during the last year we gathered a lot of retail-specific knowledge when it comes to digital access control. Our systems are installed in more than 300 stores already internationally. And we already have won an innovation award from one of our clients. Many thanks to our UK colleagues. Well done. More information you will find online. Please also use specific information offerings during the BAU Online. Thank you very much for your attention. Stay healthy and enjoy BAU Online. We do have a couple of minutes left, and I would like to take the opportunity to answer some of your questions live.
So we are now at the end of our lecture. Thomas, many thanks, a lot of thanks for the interesting presentation around digital access control and the GEZE counter. Really interesting. Thank you. The first question is, in which countries is the GEZE counter running already, Thomas?
There are installations in Germany, of course. We do have a lot of installation in UK, and we have installation in Italy and Bulgaria.
Okay. Next question is, what about the pricing of such solution? Can you give us some?
That's of course difficult to say because it depends on your situation at the entrance, and of course the amount of systems you order. But price-wise, you should start between 2,000 to 4,000 euro.
Okay, thank you. Is it possible to connect to existing counting systems? Also, is it possible to connect the GEZE counter to existing counting system?
Yes, yes. We get this question quite a lot. Theoretically, it is possible.
Okay.
It depends, of course, on the system installed, because we need a signal. We need an online functionality of this system. So, but the GEZE logic box is freely programmable. So from this side, it's possible.
Okay, thank you. How reliable is the system? Next question.
Well, of course, I will tell you everything is fine, but we did a lot of pilots and we installed a lot of system already, and not only in Germany. And so far, every system runs smoothly. And especially with this system, even the pilots were running smoothly from the first day. So it's a very reliable, good system.
Perfect, sounds good. Next question is, how long does a normal installation take? Oh, it's also an important question, I think.
Yeah, it's also not easy to say. I talk about an easy system here, one sensor. The installation time is approximately 2 hours. But what is more important here is you don't have to close down your store for that. It can be done while your operation is still running.
Okay, well, that's a good idea. And the last question I see here is, what does the operator of a store need to prepare for such a solution?
Well, it also depends on which kind of solution you order from us. The online solution, of course, needs a LAN cable for the sensor and for the logic box. We do also need power supply for the logic box, 2 power supplies. With a freestanding device, we only need 1 power supply. So this is an advantage with the basic version.
Okay, perfect. Was the last question. We now come to the end of our Q&A session. Thanks a lot for your questions.